PSG. Nico, looking at their draw, they have some tough matchups. Bayern, Barcelona, Tottenham, Atalanta. Do you think PSG could go back-to-back and win the Champions League again based off what they've just been drawn?
Listen, I think teams like PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, it doesn't matter what their schedule is, they have to be in the next stage. And even the next stage, they have a shot, right? This is the schedule, quote unquote. These are the teams that they will be playing. We don't know in what order again. Obviously, the order depends. But it is a tough draw. I don't think it's easy whatsoever to play against a team like Athletic that proved last year that they can compete against any team. Sporting, if you had to choose, like, who's the easiest of all of these teams? Perhaps Sporting or Atalanta under a new project, but it is tough. There's always one team that gets handed a tough draw. Last season, they had a tough draw too. Let's remember that in the league phase, they didn't do so well. And then as the tournament progressed, they started playing better. They started convincing people that they are the team to beat with a target on their back, and ended up wowing us in the Champions League.
Yeah, listen, they got better as the tournament went on last season, and I think it does matter who you get drawn against. I mean, this is no joke. This is a very difficult draw for Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern Munich, great history between the two clubs. They've played against each other 15 times, never been a draw, which I absolutely love. They're obviously against Barcelona. Great story as well for Luis Enrique, an opportunity for him against Barca. But then if you look at the other teams, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Tottenham, Sporting, Newcastle, Athletic Club, here's where I'm going, Nico. Every single one of those games away from home for Paris Saint-Germain is a difficult place to go play. I know the team, PSG, the recognition they deserve, the respect they deserve, what they've done, outstanding. But when they go away to Atalanta, Leverkusen, Tottenham, Sporting, Newcastle and Athletic Club, they're going away to a very difficult stadium where it's hard to pick up any type of a victory. I think this is a really difficult draw for Paris Saint-Germain, and they would have hoped for better. After just narrowly getting into the knockout stages, this is a tough one.
Nico, you say they have a target on their back. With that target on their back, there's a lot of pressure around this PSG side. What is key for them to sustain last season's success? Who will be a key players for them going into this Champions League?
Specifically, obviously, you look at the front three, but I keep my eyes on the midfield. That midfield was the engine of PSG, the one that kept them going. And to be honest, I think there's going to be a lot of focus on Lucas Chevalier, the goalkeeper, because down the stretch, who produced the big-time saves? Gianluigi Donnarumma. And without him, I'm not too sure PSG have a Champions League in their hands right now. So perhaps Chevalier does improve PSG. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. But when push comes to shove in Champions League, sure, the collective does help a lot. But the individual brilliance oftentimes are the difference makers. And whatever it is, a superstar that comes out, and that's why I do mention the Dembélés of the world, who is most likely going to win a Ballon d'Or. But you have guys in the midfield also that keep this team going. It's going to have to be, again, I think a very collective experience from everybody.
Yeah, listen, I think the goalkeeper position is a real sticking point right now. Chalavier is not a poor goalkeeper. He's an excellent goalkeeper. But going to Paris Saint-Germain when they're European champions, that's a big ask for anyone. So I'm intrigued to see how he handles the spotlight. It's been an interesting start to Ligue 1 for them. They've had a very short pre-season. Obviously, I think that by the time the Champions League gets off and running, they'll be absolutely flying. But if you're looking at right now who has the most complete team around European football, it's hard to bet against Paris Saint-Germain being exactly that. They've got youth, they've got experience, they've got quality and depth. They've obviously made a big move last season, bringing Clara into the club. What a player he's been, what an impact player he's been. But the youngsters are really catch my attention the most. I think PSG are just a well-oiled machine. But that group there, Hannah, that is not an easy group for them to get out of. I'm going to throw it out there. There are going to be a few surprises in that group.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me tell you something. You did mention the short preseason that they had, literally 7 days before the UEFA Super Cup. I think we're going to be talking about that as a factor later on in the competition. Travel is tough. It's 2 more games than usual. It's going to be difficult for a team like PSG because Club World Cup obviously impacts all of this, right? It compounds your rest, your recovery. These guys just got back from vacation and you're knee-deep in a very competitive game for a title that they ended up winning. But as this starts adding up, I wonder how Luis Enrique treats Ligue 1 the day
Well, I think
before
you can see that,
European
right?
match day.
You're watching it already. The way he started, they've been sloppy the way they've started Ligue 1. They've rested a lot of their key players. They've played a lot of the youngsters. They haven't got quite the best performance out of their team. But Nico's right. I mean, this is a crazy year you're going into as well. You've got African Cup of Nations. I mean, a lot of African players who are involved in this competition are going to be missing for a long period of time. And then you've also got a World Cup at the end of this year. So there's players who have that in the back of their mind. Where can they get the rest throughout the course of the season? But I think PSG are playing it well up to this point. You've got to say, slow pre-season, slow into the beginning of the season, but as soon as that ball rolls for Champions League, I can only imagine they'll be ready to rock and roll.
But you even said it as well last year. They kind of started off slowly in the Champions League, and then look what they were able to do.